I want to mess around with full EM Yae, and the reason for that is a couple of reasons. One, in case you're not aware, Yae Miko has this weird passive where she converts Elemental Mastery into skill damage bonus. So if you have 845 Elemental Mastery on Yae, that converts to about 120% skill damage bonus. And of course, Elemental Mastery is also still going to do the normal things Elemental Mastery does in that it increases your reaction damage. So I think it's worth exploring, especially because the other reason I want to explore this is, even though this is like the last couple days of version 5.2 here, there was reaction buffs in this version, right? Overload and Electro-Charge in particular got buffed pretty significantly, so we're going to try some Electro-Charge and Overload teams. Electro-Charge teams in particular don't really incentivize doing this kind of thing, but anyway, we'll be trying different teams, okay? Now, since the whole idea of this build is, speccing into this damage bonus, we still want to get crits on her skill, right? And therefore, I still am building her for crit. And that means this is an extremely high investment build. Like, getting EM main stats with a bunch of crit substats is hard to do. This is not an easy thing to achieve. I don't think it's going to be very bad, to be clear, to do this, and there's going to be some advantages to it. We're not going to be testing the in-depth nuance of, like, should you do this? That's not the point. The point is to see, like, how bad is it, right? Because I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'm pretty confident. So you can see I did 2-piece artifacts, 2-piece EM, 2-piece skill damage. I basically just did whatever I found the best combination of stats. All right, here's the overall artifact stats, if you care. And as far as weapon, I'm using this because I have it. I got R5 of this, I believe, from the Emily weapon banner. It's EM substat, and it converts Elemental Mastery to attack, and then also you get a little bit of attack for the party. So in this team, for example, Fischl would get a little bit more attack, and that would make her damage go up slightly. It's not a huge buff or anything. It's like 130 attack or something. And I think Yae is getting about 400 attack or so from it. But either way, it allows her to get a higher attack stat than it'd otherwise be able to when building her with this much EM. And Yae does ascend with crit rate, by the way, so it's not actually insanely hard to get enough crit rate. Like, it's much easier to do this kind of thing on Yae than it is to do, Hybrid Raiden. And I don't think this particularly relies on this weapon. It's not that strong of a conversion. If you've seen my Hybrid Raiden stuff with Staff of Scarlet Sands, that is a very strong conversion that kind of makes the difference in the build. Yae has access to a lot of strong catalyst weapons. I could still just equip her with Kagura's Verity, for example, and you can see, despite the fact that I have 679 EM, yes, I have lower attack stat, but I have a bunch more crit. Point being, I can still just use this, right? I could use Nahida's weapon, I could use Widzis still. My point is there's a lot of weapon options. This is not the same as Hybrid Raiden where you needed a specific 5-star weapon or anything. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try Aggravate, Dendro plus Electro equals the Aggravate reaction. The Aggravate reaction is a flat additive bonus that adds on top of your base multiplier scaling. The exact bonus you get is determined by your character's level and how much EM they have. This, I think, is just a good baseline comparison for, seeing how bad is this for Yae's talent damage, right? Because it should be worse, but it might not be that much worse, right? I will probably pick out a team to go and test in Abyss later, but we're going to use the Vishaps here to test in AoE, because Yae's strength lies in AoE. She'll get more reactions in AoEs. Plus, I don't mind the Vishaps because I think they're kind of fun. Alright, throw out you. You. Let's get Kazuha going. And Kazuha bursts. Alright. And what are we getting? We're getting 42Ks on Aggravate hits. That is really high. I guess I should have tested a baseline like normal build. Okay, like I use a little bit of a weird build for my normal build for Yae though, because I use her in so many different teams that I don't know. Anyways, she's getting so much more damage than I would have thought she would, though. Huh. Like, 35k? I do have C2 Yae, by the way, but because of the fact that we're building less attack than we normally would be on Yae, don't do it. Okay. Because we're building less attack than we normally would on Yae, the C2 is making way lower of a relative difference than you normally would see. Like, you only actually, in general with Aggravate, you really don't see that much from C2 Yae, I will tell you that. I love how competent this is. Like, if you just gave someone this Yae build, no one would notice anything is awry, right? Like this just seems like a completely normal Yae build, right? It's so funny. That's so funny to me. This is completely competent. But yeah, let me go switch to my normal Yae build with Kagura's Verity. 2-piece attack, 2-piece attack, which isn't the ideal combo or anything for a Aggravate team, right? But you can see this is what the crit ratio looks like. It's a much more attack focused, less EM build. The reason I use this build on Yae over, you know, more EM or skill damage focus like Golden Troop on her is because I like to use her on field a lot. But you can see we're getting like similar damage numbers, like higher, but like not that much higher, right? Oh, I just left it. Good job. Like, it's so funny. It's like just almost exactly the same. Like, I want to emphasize my 2-piece attack build. 2-piece attack build is an extremely good build too. So yeah, that, I don't know, that's a very interesting baseline comparison already, without even doing a team that really tries to get extra reaction value, because we can, you know, bring in Hydro to a Yae team, right? And Yae, when she's on field in particular, can trigger Bloom Cores really easily. And, you know, if you have a really high EM build on an Electro character and you're triggering Bloom Cores, you get like 30k Hyperblooms. So this means we can get in the neighborhood of, you know, 30k skill hits on Yae and 30k Hyperblooms at the same time. Alright, I'm going to use Farina with Baiju and then Dendro Traveler, because I think this is going to be the way to get, you know, a lot of constant Bloom Core generation and also get some damage bonus. We're not going to have Red Shred, right? We're losing Kazuha. So Yae's talent damage should be lower here, I suspect. This will be an interesting on-field Yae variation, I think. Right, and this is still the attack build, by the way, right now. So right now we only have 195 EM. We'll get a little bit of a buff from Baiju and Dendro Traveler for our Bloom damage, of course. And do some normal attacks, you know, start getting whack. We're getting like, yeah, 15k-ish in our Hyperblooms. You can see Yae can no problem trigger them with our normal attacks. We just get 20k almost? That's still higher Hyperbloom damage than I expected, to be honest. Like 17k? Yeah. Huh. Alright, we're back to the EM build.
Emerge right now. Taking a turn for the better.
Alright, let's see, what do we get? Oh, that's the wrong character. And we are getting, it's so hard, man, Dendro is so hard to see anything. We're getting like 35,000 Hyperblooms. I forgot to make sure we keep the skills up. And we can still get 40k skill hits, alright. Why is this good? Oh no, is this just the build I'm going to use on Yae all the time now? Oh dear. Well, okay, the real test is going to be how good is this in like a, because, oh god dang it, okay, well. The real test is going to be how does this work in like an overload team, like a team that's not doing Dendro, right? Because you're gonna get less value from EM if you don't have Dendro things going on, right? Let's try this again, but not dying. Oh god. Okay. Also, it's not a brigade we can do charge attacks too, which I just missed on that one, but you know. Because we can get meaningful charge. Well, I don't know. The charge attack damage isn't that significant. This team definitely just want to use normal attacks to trigger Hyperbloom Cores, right?
Right now, emerge. Scatter, exterminate. A bigger pill to swallow. Remember, help comes first.
No.
Right here, right now, right here.
It's just. I'm getting so much bloom damage. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Stop raising me.
Seems like an emergency.
Yae is really good at triggering bloom cores. I don't know. You have to use Yae on field, right, to trigger bloom cores, but I still think it's one of the most fun things you can do with her. She does have a problem of, like, you really want Farina or other ways of applying Hydro that don't require normal attacks. I mean, you don't need to now. It's just, you don't have her on field constantly. Like, it's not ideal. She's not the ideal Hyperbloom trigger, right? Like, pure Hyperbloom damage is a lot easier to just do Goofy. I am not ignoring that. But, anyways, I don't know, whatever. I think this is great. That's all there is to it, okay? Now. Oh, oh, don't die. No, 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 no. God dang, why can't I live? I think I forgot to use Baiju. It's safe to say that that definitely worked. Like, we can get 40k skill hits. Like, we can get very, very similar damage on Yae's skill, even when we're building full EM, which is I thought we were going to see like 25, 30% less damage, but instead it's just almost the same. It feels like it's probably like 10% worse or something for her skill damage. The amount of crit rate we have does not reflect in the like big crit number we see on screen, right? Like our average damage is probably still 10% worse as far as her skill damage goes, but again, like if you can get additional damage from the transformative reactions, like the additional damage she gets from both triggering Electro-Charge and the Hyperblooms in this team, I don't know. Like this is the kind of team that would require like direct comparison of like clear times in order to really draw the line, and does this make sense? In this team, it could actually be better as far as like on-field Yae goes to build more EM on her for the purposes of more Hyperbloom damage. Does it make sense to do full EM? Probably not, unless you have really good artifacts, but it works, and that is really funny. But I want to try some goofier things, because I use Yae Miko in a lot of teams that aren't just Dendro teams, like Shivers teams. Now, I play Yae in Shivers teams quite a lot, but normally I do double Electro, double Pyro. In this instance, because we're building Yae with full EM, if I want her to be the one that triggers the overloads the most often, we would need to make sure we have underlying Pyro almost all the time on the enemies. That means we're doing a triple Pyro team. Now, this build with the overload reaction buff, I think is going to get 20, close to 30,000 overload damage. Like, it's going to be quite high. Don't. Okay. Do that. So 20,000 without a buff going on. Okay. Let's do this. Do this. Do this. That going while we do Xiangling and Xiangling. Alright. And then we switch to Yae and we'll get buff hits. What are we getting for skill hits? 27,000, 30,000 I think I saw. And interesting. Okay. And we're getting 26,000 on overloads. That is about what I expected. It's also worth mentioning, you know, Even Star is buffing Xiangling a little bit here, which is kind of interesting. How do you not have your energy back, please? This. Wham. I didn't hit anything because yay for targeting things, but yeah, I don't know. This works. It does work. I don't think it makes sense to do, to be clear, because I can tell you this Yae build, at least with C2 Yae, definitely hits more meaningfully higher talent damage. Like I can get towards, I think, 40k, if not more. So we're losing a lot of our damage, which is not that surprising. We're not have any pyro going right now. That. Yeah, we are definitely losing a not insignificant amount. Like, I don't know, we're still getting 30k. It's not a crazy amount, honestly. It's still like pretty good. Oh, it's really funny. I don't know. Like, it's certainly not unusable by any means. Like, I'm pretty sure I could very comfortably clear this with this kind of damage output, right? That's, I think, the important takeaway still. Instead of Bennett here and trying to on-field Yae, let's use a Pyro on-fielder. To be clear, Dio doesn't have to be on-field, but I'm using Dio on-field because I like her. Wham. This is more damage on Dio than I expected in this team, too. Power of Shivers team, I guess. Oh, right, that bit. Okay. Obviously, without Bennett buff, we're getting a lot less damage. And I've seen, you know, on an episode, I have definitely seen much more damage out of Yae in a non-Bennett Shivers team before, right? But at the same time, is it dysfunctional? Like, could I be clearing with a carried Dia Shivers team here? I think I could. I'm pretty confident I could. I don't know. It's so weird, right? Because you don't notice the transformative reaction damage, right? You don't notice the little overload numbers as much, but they're still there and getting really significant damage. So, is it actually that much worse? Is the question. I don't think it's that much worse.
Nothing lasts forever.
In fact, funnily enough, I think this might be the most enemies we might kill in these Bishops things. Again, I'm not really trying that hard to kill as many enemies as possible. I'm just trying to pay attention to different things going on, but I think it's an interesting thing. Weird. I don't know. This build is so goofy, and it just mostly works. I want to try an Electro-Charged team with Yae, and that of course is because Electro-Charged was also buffed in the last patch. The goofy thing with Electro-Charge though is normally you'd want to use an Animo unit in Electro-Charge team because the Animo unit can be the one that whenever they're triggering Swirl tends to take over the ownership of the Electro-Charge reaction damage. So you put like Kazuha or Sucrose, who normally are built for EM anyways, and they will get really good Electro-Charge damage, swirling the elements around. But Yae in this team, like Oron might end up triggering some Electro-Charges instead of Yae if there's not enough underlying Hydro, hence why we're using, you know, Yelan and Xingqiu together, because I want a ton of Hydro in order to try to make sure Yae is always triggering an Electro-Charge. That's the goal. So we have 845 EM on Yae, and Oron has 121 EM. Alright, let's see. So Oron's gonna get 4,974 Electro-Charge damage. And Yae gets 14,975, right? So 3 times the Electro-Charge damage. And we will on-field Yae just doing some normal attacks, and hopefully Yae will always basically take ownership of Electro-Charge. To be honest though, there's always so many numbers that appear on screen of Electro-Charge, it's going to be impossible to notice in action.
Come on now, emerge right here.
This...
Witness the power. Quiet. You're about to get dicey. Not too far now.
No.
Time to say hello.
Alright, and yeah, see, this is... yeah, you tell me, is Yae taking ownership here? Also, I took a lot of damage. Xingqiu does, you know, heal a little bit and prevent you from taking a bunch of damage, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're immortal. I should have done that after doing whatever, it's fine. Yeah, I have no idea. I actually have no idea. Ow, 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 ow. I'm running out of stamina, it's not ideal. I think Yae was taking most of the ownership there. I have no idea. The important question though is, what are we getting for like skill damage? Also very hard to tell. Like 14,000? Obviously it's gonna be much less. Like again, normally you would use an Animo unit in Electro-Charge team. So I don't know. I don't think Electro-Charge Full EM Yae makes sense, quite frankly. You just build Yae for, you know, raw damage, like a double attack % build like I had before, and it would be better. Which means I think the most fun team to try in Abyss is going to be the Chevreuse Dia team. Casey Care, this is going to be the overall builds I have. This is a C2D. Oh, that's not correct. I didn't have my Dia on her goblet. Oops. This is what Dia's build is supposed to look like. My Xiangling build before actually was kind of borked, and now it's better. And my Chevreuse is on Song of Days Past, and yes, she is C6. This Abyss has a lot of awkward requirements. I think the Papilla is not going to be that hard for this team to deal with, because the Papilla just needs a lot of elemental type damage hitting it, and I think we have a lot of instances of elemental type damage in this team. I'm going to use a Sethos team the first half. Ooh, nice, we have a crit buff. I love Sethos. Alright, the Bishops are a little bit annoying with Overload because they get knocked around like they're pieces of paper, but whatever. Ow. Do this. Okay. Spear. Okay. That's a 5-year wake-up animation. This. Bam, bam, bam. No. Alright. How much overload damage are we getting? 28,000? Nice. that. Oh, we had a crystallized shield. Nice. Where did we get a crystallized shield? Whatever. I'll take it. And not even a challenge. Easy. Alright, this one will be a little bit interesting. Let's do this. Doot. Alright. And that. Of course, don't have Shangling, please. There we go. Alright. And do this. Gonna. Yep. I didn't die? Well, that works. We'll take it. Oh, wait, no, I did die. Oh boy. This is not ideal. Okay. I mean, I think we're still going to succeed. Just, you know, I think if I optimize this down, I could clear the Papilla in before it does this rotation. So you know what, I might do that. See if Dia can tank this thing. It might be able to. Oh yeah, Dia can handle it. No problem. Let's go. I love tanky characters. Oh, but Dia's a garbage character. Oh. I should have done Shiver's skill again to make sure Dia could heal. That was a skill issue, not Dia's fault. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. What did I die that time? Huh? No. Oh, I did it. I did it. Oh, okay. That took a lot of retries to kill that without it getting to its second shield phase. But that is like the ideal. Like if a team can do that against the Papilla, you should be able to clear this abyss. I think that probably took 25, 30 minutes of retries. And this dude shouldn't be hard at all. Just gonna take a well-placed shot. Not wasting Shiver's skill. Let's not be stupid this time. Alright, do your shot right away, please. Yeah, just. There we go. Oh, I didn't land it. Okay. Oh, there we go. An overload managed to trigger it. Didn't even think about that. It went the wrong direction. No, should have. There's like optimization to be had here with Shumling and right now, right here, emerging in the right direction, but it's fine. Of course, not me. I do. A character in the Papilla. Don't think this one's gonna require optimizing. It just takes being smart with hitting the thing down. Yae's burst does so much less damage, by the way, in this EM build, in case it's not obvious. To a degree that's like... it shows you how important that EM passive is, and like how this would be really, really, really garbage for Yae if we didn't have the EM passive, right? So, anyways. Not surprising that it got Pyro Res, because Overload does count as Pyro type damage, even though it has a different color. Could you just like take Overload damage and die? Really? Do this. and then get overload. No, stop it. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Just get die. Thank you. There we go. Got an overload for the win. So yeah, this is really silly. I don't think it's really better to do this, except maybe in those Bloom Team variants when you're on fielding Yae. The very fact that I can compete with some of Yae's normal builds in some teams is, I think, really interesting and a cool aspect to Yae's kit, ultimately, and a nice little showcase of, you know, the value of when you can convert Elemental Mastery to other stats. It can, you know, be pretty strong, because EM is strong at a baseline, so converting it to other things is even stronger. This was fun. I don't think you should necessarily do it yourself, but it's definitely not that bad of a thing to do, surprisingly, and more than anything should show you the value of having, you know, 2-piece EM or EM substats on a character like Yae Miko. This passive really does a lot for her, and this was a nice showcase of why I like Yae so much. Also, thank you, Hoyoverse, for buffing some of the Electro reactions.